Steve McManaman's back with us. What did you make of all that tonight?
Brilliant if you're a Liverpool fan, quite depressing if you're a Manchester United fan. Didn't know how to play a five at the back. They mustn't have practiced enough because they got caught out right from the off.
We had one day.
One day, exactly, yeah. Well, that's what it looked like, Scholes, didn't it? Yeah. Feel sorry for this gentleman next to me having to talk about it and have to comment about it because the first half, Manchester United in 5th place, Liverpool were in 2nd before the game. The gap looked as if they could have been in 55th place. I mean, it was really a chasing experience, wasn't it? They hardly got a touch of the ball. They hardly got a touch of the ball in Liverpool's penalty, let alone a shot on target. Better in the second half because they went forward at the back and put a couple more attackers on. But I thought the first half was... I thought Liverpool were excellent, but I think Liverpool benefited from Manchester United not having a clue how to play.
And apart from this season, obviously, where we saw the 5-0, I think that's their biggest win at Anfield in the Premier League era as well. Is that the most alarming gap you've seen between these two teams in recent times?
Yes, not positionally, not even points-wise, but
on the pitch quality-wise.
On the pitch quality-wise. I think we all expected it before the game. But sometimes this tie, or normally this tie, there's more aggression, there's more... it's very hectic, you know, the atmosphere is very volatile and noisy, and there's more aggression and people are running around firing into each other and not letting anybody have time on the ball. Well, that was completely the opposite today. It looked as if a team on the up and one that was very, very low in confidence, and it's not really fun to go on about it because you want them to be better. You wanted it to be more of a competition today to show what they're made of, and there wasn't enough people running around in a Manchester United shirt, which is criminal, really, because if there's one thing you should be able to do if you're not good enough and you haven't got the quality, is you run and you work hard and you fight and you throw yourself into tackles and you make it more of a competition. I think nobody kicked anybody until about the 88th minute, which was alarming in itself in a game of this magnitude.
I was going to ask the same question there, Mac, and probably best to ask Scholes because he used to do it more often than me and you. But on a serious note, actually changing the course of a game by doing something like that. I mean, I know people will say this lad mistimed a few, but half the time you do it on purpose just to get your players, just get the fans, just to change the course of something.
Well, you see Thiago in the first half, he's flicking passes, he's doing this, he's stepping over the ball, he's back. Someone has to, you don't want anybody to get injured, of course, but someone has to go and give him a kick and say, stop doing that on a game like this. But there was nothing, no one could get anywhere near anybody.
Scholesy, come on.
I'm trying not to get angry. I'm just trying to say relax. I feel sad, but it's true. I don't want to go back to what we'd have done in our day, but you look at Thiago, he's completely dictating the play. He's taking the mickey almost. But that's just the way he plays. He's not doing that on purpose. That's just the way he plays football. He's brilliant at it. But as a player, as an experienced player, Nemanja Matic, how experienced is he? Harry Maguire. Say to all young lads, say to Jesse Lingard, just get against him.
Yeah.
Don't let him have the ball, You don't have to boot him. Ideally, you like to let him know that he's there. Of course you will. But don't let him dictate play like he was today. And surely that has to come from your manager.
I'm the same
as you. Tactic from your manager.
If you've got one player who's standing out and running the game, you just say to him for 5 minutes, go and stand on him and don't let him have a kick of the ball. Just do something to change the flow of the game. Otherwise, we're just going to be back to the wall all the time.
But do you know what, Mackin? You should know that coming to Anfield.
Shouldn't be a surprise.
Has the United staff never seen Thiago play before? He's done this for years and years under Pep Guardiola at Barcelona. He's done it at Bayern Munich. He's doing it now for Liverpool. Have you not seen him? Have you not seen the strengths of this team? Coming to Anfield is all about stopping them. Forget what you can do. You're never going to play brilliant football and create loads of chances. You've got to come and stop him. You've got to stop the crowd, and you've got to stop their most dangerous players. And there was just never a plan to do that. You almost go man for man. I think if we'd have come here as our team, we'd have had Fletcher on the right-hand side against Robertson. We'd have played Jason Park or Wayne Rooney on the left-hand side, because them two are brilliant, and we'd have had someone right against Thiago. OK, Jordan Henderson and Fabinho, good players, but they're not going to create and control the game like Thiago can. So you've got to stop their threats. It's all about coming here, is stopping Liverpool. Forget yourselves, and there was never a plan to do that, Steve.
Well, let's hear from the man who did try and put a plan together. His first ever managerial meeting with Liverpool. He's lost it 4-0. Here's Ralph Rangnick.
Well, Ralph, from Liverpool, very good, but if we're honest, from Manchester United, quite poor, quite bad.
Yeah, especially the first half. We were just not up to it. We decided for an additional central defender because most of our natural ball winners were injured and not available. But the first goal after 6 minutes, I don't know, that was not part of the game plan to be that high up and to try to press high up and then concede a transitional moment after 6 minutes. That was not part of the game plan, obviously.
How does that happen then with 5 defenders and 4 midfielders? How do you get caught that easily?
Because we had all the players at the halfway line and then they were at their very best. That's one of the best counter-attacking teams in the league. But you could see it. Our left side was completely open. And then in the end, it was an easy tap-in after 5 seconds after they had played the ball from the back. But anyway, in the first half, we were just nowhere, second best. We had a backline of 5. We could also have had a backline of 6 or 7. If you don't try to win second balls first, not even to speak of first balls, but second balls, we were second best in all relevant areas of the first half, and yeah, that was just not good enough. Second half, I thought the first 25 minutes were better. We had 2 or 3 moments. The game was open in those 25 minutes, but then again, we played exactly that kind of ball before the third goal that we didn't want to play. 15-yard ball into their pressing zone, and with the fourth goal, it was similar. But anyway, they just showed what kind of caliber there are. Right now, we are not up for it. We are not good enough to get points in a game like against Liverpool.
So Manchester United fans can probably accept, to an extent, not being as good as Liverpool, but not being up for it, not trying for second balls. How can that ever happen?
Yeah, I mean, they are one of the best, if not the best teams in the world right now, and we are far away from that. We have to be honest. We are just not physical enough. We are not, as I said, physical, athletic enough. Against a team like this, if you want to have a chance, you have to cause them problems. You have to make use of those few counter-attacking moments yourself, but we couldn't. And that's why we lost 4-0.
When you're saying not physical enough, not athletic enough, is it too simple to say like, the players are not trying hard enough?
Well, I'm pretty sure that any of the players who were in the starting 11 knew about the importance of that game, not only with regard to the league and the table, but also with regard to our fans and supporters. But yeah, as I said, in order to be able to get something out of a game like this, you have to be on, not only online, but on them. You have to attack them and cause them problems. And this, in the first half, we didn't do that at all. In the second half, we did it for 25 minutes, but that's not enough.
You know very well how to build the club. How long will it take? How many windows? How many players to bridge the gap you saw tonight?
Liverpool only needed 2 or 3 transfer windows until they had a competitive team, and yeah, if you know what you're looking for, it doesn't have to take 4 or 5 years. I mean, they did it when Jürgen came. They finished 8th in the first season and had a point average of 1.6. But yeah, you have to do it, and you have to start. And I think here in our club, it has to start this summer.
Well, very honest, Ralf Rangnick there. We'll get some reactions to that in a moment. These are the match stats that Paul was alluding to. Just 1 attempt on target for Manchester United. They ended up with 28 possession. Now, listen, total passes for Liverpool, 879. I'm reliably informed since data began in 2003. That is the 4th most of any Premier League game that Liverpool have played tonight. 879 passes. Touches in the opposition box for Manchester United, 9. When you look at those stats and when you hear a very honest Ralf Rangnick,
He
what's
is
your
honest.
response?
He is honest, Stephen, especially in these big games. He's probably a little bit too honest. But their stats, from watching the game, they don't surprise you. Manchester United never laid a finger on any one of their players at any time. They were allowed to do what they want. I wouldn't be fooled by the first 20 minutes or 25 minutes, as he said, of the second half. Liverpool were bored. It was too easy. They just needed more motivation. Really. They brought Jota on to really step it up again, and they went and scored whenever they wanted to. So I wouldn't be fooled by that. Look, the motivation thing, United weren't up for it. It's difficult to take that.
Well, the supporters will come back and say, what...
Steve, yeah, exactly. They should be up for any game of football.
Yeah.
You're playing for Manchester United, whether it's Liverpool away or Watford away, whoever it might be. But again, you need motivation from your coach. Sometimes you play that many games, and sometimes it might just be a few words for your manager. Think, yeah, right, here we go again. You've got to step yourself up. You've got to be ready for the challenge of playing a proper football team. And they just looked bereft of ideas. They looked lost. They looked unenthusiastic. They just looked like a group of players that were flat. And there's a lot of experience in that team. A lot of experience.
Do you think they honestly believed, they started the game like they believed they could get any kind of result tonight?
They were like every fan. They was like everyone from Manchester, everyone I spoke to, coming here tonight expecting 4-0 was probably a result. We thought, yeah, it could easily happen. But we was probably hoping for 1 or 2. And that is a sad place where United fans are in. Everybody, probably Liverpool people as well, they probably look and think, yes, this should be comfortable tonight. And it was comfortable. Liverpool, they could go and play another game tomorrow morning. It was so easy. We could have played for Liverpool today. It was just so easy. There was just a lack of real fighting spirit, which is sad for the club. I feel sorry for the football club. I feel sorry for the fans. It's in a really bad place, and we need to forget about moaning about it all the time. We need to try and find a way to get it back where it should be. Now, getting a proper coach will help. Of course it will.
They need to finish fourth, I think, mate, don't they, as well this year? If they can. It's going to be hard, but if they can, they need to jump into the Champions League. That will really help them.
You just can't see it on that performance.
I just can't, not on that, no.
Arsenal, you're going down there, you think.
The thing is today...
And Arsenal aren't a great team.
And then Chelsea straight after as well.
Chelsea, they're 2 games they're going to lose.
What surprised me today was that you knew how Liverpool were going to play today. You knew what the team was going to be to a certain point. Henderson, Fabinho, and how they play from the back. Because if you've done your homework, you know how Liverpool have been using Alisson to play through and knock it off. We all knew what they were going to do, and they couldn't stop it. The way they just plays out through the middle from the goalkeeper all the time. And someone has to say, right, that's enough now. We can't just keep getting caught like this. We either drop back into a shape or we press properly. But nobody pressed. They sort of went and then jogged over there and then jogged back over there. But actually nobody went with any vigour to close down and smash into somebody. See Liverpool closing down when they were 3-0 and 4-0 up. Yeah. Every time they lost the ball, they just went and hunted it back. And I swear they got it back after 2 seconds. But United didn't. United knew what they were going to do and actually couldn't stop them at all. And that was the most disappointing part about it.
OK, let's continue the Manchester United chat in a moment after we've got some reaction from inside the dressing room. Here are the thoughts of Bruno Fernandes.
Well, Bruno, it's another horrible experience against Liverpool. How would you sum that up?
No, obviously it's a bad result once again. Not much that I can say. Obviously, I think apologize to the fans. It will never be enough. But obviously, it's what we can do now. They don't deserve that we play in this way. They deserve much more from us. The way they support us until the end, the way they stay even after the whistle to applaud us, they deserve much more from us. We know that we have to put a level, the standard will be much more higher, and is what it is.
When you say the fans don't deserve it, quality is one thing, effort's another. Was the effort there tonight? Was there enough effort?
I think everyone runs. I think every game is effort from everyone. I don't want to think even that someone doesn't give 100% of themselves, even for themselves and for the team. Everyone has to do it. In first place, as I said, for ourselves, after for the team, and after obviously for the club we represent, the fans and everyone.
Number of apologies there from Bruno Fernandes. Getting back to Paul's point about looking forward, I know it's complicated, but do you feel if they could announce the new manager, if it is going to be Erik ten Hag, as soon as possible, that prevent this season from filtering away, that there's some clarity at least for the players who are going to be here at United next season?
Definitely, I think it will help. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the main thing that they need now, because listen, United have gone through this process of buying great players for years and years and years. Look how much they've spent. Look how many great players they've had that have turned average overnight. As soon as you put on that red shirt at the moment, your performance level goes down 10-20%. Everybody. I can't think of one player over the last 5-10 years that Manchester United have signed that is actually better than when they signed them. I mean, it's unbelievable, the fall off in performance. The confidence just drains out of every player. So I think getting the right manager is an absolute must to start with. Before you start throwing 100 millions at it again, getting the right manager is a must. I mean, the big worry that I'd have if I was a Manchester United fan is when Ralph Rangnick was asked before about are they trying, he didn't really say, he had the easiest opportunity to say absolutely they're trying, absolutely, it's just a lack of quality or whatever. He didn't even answer the question. That's the accusation now, and it is the worst accusation that you could have pinned.
So what does
at
that tell you internally
player.
then?
Well, look when Liverpool lose the ball, it is an instant. The lads just touched on it a minute ago. In an instant, their attitude is do anything, run, get the ball back instantly. I'd love to see the running stats tonight. Manchester United, Liverpool give the ball away. Liverpool take chances in the final third. They give the ball away all the time. But their attitude to getting it back straight away is just different.
So where does that attitude come from?
Well, the manager has to come from up top, and you can't just say, all right, we're going to do it today. It's every single day in training. You've got to respect your manager, you've got to respect the coaches, you've got to buy into every single thing that they say, and then you've got to do it. It's got to become second nature. Manchester United, when they lose the ball, are an absolute disgrace. They don't run and win it back. As I say, I'd love to see the running stats today because they haven't put in as much effort as Liverpool, no question.
Yeah, I totally agree with Michael. We need to stop seeing these apologies. All the fans want, all everybody want who's ever been associated with the club, is that players try the best. I didn't see in that first half players trying the best. They looked just like a flat, energyless group of players that, do you know what, they didn't look like they wanted to be on the pitch. They didn't look like they wanted to be on the football pitch, which is, it's sad for a place this club have come, and they've still got a great chance of finishing the top four. The 3 points outside the top four against a Tottenham team who you just never know what you're going to get.
But you're saying they're just like a mid-table team with nothing to play for kind of thing.
They look worse than a mid-table team tonight. That was impressive. I remember watching Watford a couple of weeks ago. Created chances. Looked like they could have scored goals. United didn't, They offered nothing to the game of football going forward. Now look, going forward, you're looking at a new manager. Will a new manager make such a big difference to this group of players? He'll need help. I think he'll need help upstairs as well. He needs to have a man upstairs in between him and the owners,
like
whoever it is.
Here with Michael Edwards.
Yeah, to have a man who knows football, knows what he's talking about. You look back at Sir Alex Ferguson, he wasn't a coach, he was a manager. He managed men, he managed upstairs. He almost did everything. Head of recruitment, he was a sporting director. He was everything in one. Now, these young coaches like Ten Hag's a young coach, relatively young coach, they need help with that. They need people upstairs that they can go to, they can have a link to. I think he's got Edwin van der Sar now with him at Ajax, which is a great...
And he had Mark Overmars, didn't
Mark
he?
Overmars, well, great footballing people who know what a football club's all about, and to look after a football team, he needs that. I think they've declined to have a sporting director, haven't they, for such a long time now. I think if they bring a new young manager in, I think they desperately need one.
Yeah, they don't have to call him a sporting director, do they? As long as he just gives them some help, that's all. That's all there is. Michael Edwards here, or Julian Ward, when he takes over, which he's virtually done now, he's not classed as a sporting director, he's just a man behind the scenes who...
But the difference here is, Maka, they have a certain identity, a certain player that they go for to fit into a system, and that's Michael's point over the years about...
That's what the new manager needs to bring. He's got a way of playing at Ajax, what he does. If he comes here and does the same type of thing, then he needs to have the man that understands that with him as well.
And they need patience.
What type of player they need, rather than your Galactica approach.
He needs to concentrate on what is going on the football pitch and the training pitch. He doesn't need to worry about that. And if he's got that link with the football knowledge, like I say, I keep saying Edwin, what he's brought to Ajax, what Mark Overmars brought to Ajax, it's something that I think he needs, that bridge in between the both.
Liverpool at the moment, no matter who they sign, people keep saying, oh, Diaz has come in, he looks, and I've said it, looks fantastic straight away. They buy Jota, looks fantastic. Every single player they sign fits into this team like a glove straight away. Exactly, but one, it's the type of player you buy, yeah, I get that. But two, it's as soon as you're bought into this, we just spoke to Jordan Henderson before, there's 25, all pull in the same direction, all, when the ball is lost, they do this, they do that. It's virtually impossible to not be a successful signing at the moment. On the opposite side of the fence, if you're a Manchester United player, I don't care whether Messi signs tomorrow. His performance level is going to go down. It's virtually impossible to be signed at Manchester United at the moment and become a better player. The whole thing is rotten. So that needs to, and as soon as that tide starts to turn, then of course you can get some momentum. But at the minute, right from the top, as the lads are saying, through to the manager, it's just a shambles, and then it reflects on the pitch as well.
Okay.